SHORYUFLICKS.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching another episode of SHORYUFLICKS. My name is Maersky, that's my boy.
Will.
Will's actually going to take the lead on the last movie of the Hunger Games saga, Mockingjay Part 2. I volunteer as not tribute.
Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 2 picks up where Part 1 left off. We see Katniss Everdeen lying in bed after PETA tries to kill her by choking her out. From that point moving forward, and for the rest of the movie, we see the Resistance trying to figure out exactly what is going to be their last stand, what is going to be their big push to take over the Capitol. We see them deliberate back and forth where they want to use Katniss Everdeen and where they don't. How, are they going to actually put her in the front lines, or if they're just going to use her more as a propaganda prop, which is what we see in Part 1 as well. Another thing we get to see is how PETA responds to everything that happened to him in Mockingjay Part 1 and how now he responds to it in Part 2 during all the battle scenes and all the stressful situations he's put in. So what the Resistance ends up deciding to do as part of the last push is actually not put Katniss in the front line. Rather, what they decide to do is put Katniss as part of a team that's more of a propaganda tool to actually show the Resistance exactly how they're doing. So she's not actually in the battle, she's trailing the rest of the team that's leading the front lines. So what the Resistance decide to do is actually put Katniss Everdeen as a part of a team that's not part of the frontline battles. She trails behind so they can film propaganda pieces. What they're essentially given is a Wii U gamepad to detect all the different obstacles and possible traps along the way. Now I'm going to stop there with the whole synopsis review because I don't want to give away the rest of the movie, because there's a couple of things that you have to watch that are a couple of twists and turns that you never see coming unless you read the books, which I didn't. So overall, I like this conclusion to the franchise known as the Hunger Games. I'm a big fan of the Hunger Games franchise just because of the fact that each movie brought something new to the table. It didn't feel like a movie that was made for sequels. Obviously, it was based on books, so there was going to be sequels, but each had their own individual stories with great action sequences and actually pretty good acting. Part of what I liked about this film is that the Resistance was willing to take up less high grounds, let's just say. They were willing to do things that in prior films or in older parts of the story they were not willing to do, aka killing off certain people that you and I would never do. The action sequences were phenomenal. There was a lot of suspense behind it, some good amount of violence, some zombie-like creatures in the sewers, not trying to give anything away. There's also some good deaths in this movie as well. Again, I'm not going to tell you exactly who dies, but this movie has its fair share of deaths that were appropriate yet heartfelt. And like I said before, there are a lot of twists and turns in this film. Now, since I didn't read any of the books, there are a lot of twists and turns I didn't see coming. These twists and turns actually help shape and mold the rest of the film into the final conclusion part, which in itself already was another twist. So if you're looking for a film that's going to keep you on your toes, I think the end of this film is definitely going to do that. What's also an intriguing part of this film is the politics that both sides play, both as the Resistance and President Snow. You get to see kind of the things that go on in modern day politics, but in a fictional sense. But since we see a lot of it in day-to-day activity, we can relate to it in this film as well. We get to see ulterior motives, people that are thinking 5 steps ahead in order to get themselves ahead. So, you know, some people are not as good as they are, and some people aren't as bad as you think. The acting, even since the first installment of the Hunger Games, has been pretty darn good. Jennifer Lawrence time and time again has shown us exactly how expansive her repertoire is, whether she was in Hunger Games, X-Men, American Hustle, and I'm looking forward to this new movie she's going to be in called Joy. All in all, Mockingjay Part 2 is a great wrap-up for this entire franchise. I love the action sequences because they're so unique in different settings. The acting was pretty damn good. What I did wish they did do was actually show Pan Am after Katniss and PETA settled down. Last part, I do see why they separated Mockingjay into 2 movies, because they wouldn't have been able to squeeze in all the different story parts into one. It would have been a 4-hour movie. And that's a wrap for Mockingjay Part 2, the finale of the Hunger Games series.
Thanks for watching this episode of SHORYUFLICKS. My name is Maersky, that's my boy.
Will.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear what you think. Also follow us on Facebook at SHORYUFLICKS, on Instagram at SHORYUFLICKS, and on Twitter at SRFlicks. Thanks for watching. Adios.
SHORYUFLICKS.